President Trump gets a massive victory in the courts, one that utterly deflates New York Attorney General Letitia James. Also, Attorney General Pam Bondi sends a serious warning to sanctuary cities as President Trump personally visits the streets of DC. This one's really interesting, so I hope you stick around until the end. Real quick though, if you want to stay updated on Social Security, US politics, and global news that affects us, then be sure to subscribe to the Civic Trigger.
New York appeals court just tossed out his civil fraud penalty, ruling that the roughly $500 million fine is excessive and unconstitutional. They did not, though, throw out the entire case. Let's bring in Andy McCarthy, Fox News contributor and former assistant U.S. attorney. So here's what Judge David Friedman said in concurrence. He said, quote, "What emerges from this court's vacating the $500 million disgorgement award, with which I concur, is the frustration of what appears to have been the Attorney General's true aim in bringing this action. Plainly, her ultimate goal was not, quote, market hygiene, as posited by Justice Moulton, but political hygiene, ending with the derailment of President Trump's political career and the destruction of his real estate business."
I'm going to be frank here. This is hilarious. Remember when Tish James went on the media to talk about all the properties she was going to take from President Trump? That's kind of backfiring on her right now, isn't it?
New York Attorney General Letitia James says she's prepared to do everything she can to make sure the former president pays his fine, including, she told us, seizing the buildings that bear his name.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets.
Many of us knew that this case wasn't going to go anywhere, especially after the president won the election, because many different analysts believe that these cases were brought against him to literally make him look bad before November last year. What they didn't expect was the realization from many voters that this was political persecution, especially when we talk about the facts behind this case. Here's Jonathan Thurley talking about this win for the president.
This is obviously a tremendous victory for President Trump, but it's long overdue. During this litigation, many of us described this entire effort as a grotesque use of this New York law. No one lost money in this case. The banks actually wanted more business from President Trump. No one had ever seen an effort like this. It was an effort by Letitia James to have a trophy win against Trump. And what this opinion has done is to reduce what was a mounted marlin to something of a guppy. I mean, it has removed the fine and left in place the injunctive relief that President Trump can now appeal.
Let's also not forget that the main reason that James ran for Attorney General was to go after the president. This is something that she was proud of, and now she's lost all of her purpose, and to add insult to injury, she's facing fraud allegations because she lied about her primary residence. Funny how things can change overnight, right? Now let's move on to Attorney General Pam Bondi, and I get it, she's been really disappointing as of late, especially when it comes to that one list that all of us have been asking for. Although now, she's focusing her energy on sanctuary cities, cities that have treated illegal aliens far better than they have U.S. citizens.
What can happen? What will the price be for sanctuary state governors and sanctuary city mayors that refuse to respect our laws, border sovereignty, and the policy of the federal government?
Well, they better look out. I sent 32 letters to mayors, multiple letters to these governors. And, they say that we're trying to tell them how to do their jobs. Yeah, we're trying to tell them to keep America safe, and they need to keep America safe. What happened in California was a perfect example. Gaddy Serralta, our U.S. Marshal, he received the call from Florida Highway Patrol. They tracked this guy down, this illegal alien in California, and he had a whole lot of cash on him when our U.S. Marshals went and arrested him and caught him. And he was given a commercial driving license by the state of California. So if the argument is, well, let us manage California, it doesn't work that way. That guy came to our state and killed 3 of our citizens. And that's why President Trump is not only going to protect Florida, D.C., but every single major city, every city, and every state in this country. So those letters we sent, we're going to start looking at your funding. We are going to sue them if they are not in compliance, and they have to comply. They cannot harbor criminals like California has done, no longer in this country.
Again, I appreciate the tough talk, but I'm pleading with the AG here. When will these officials be held accountable? American lives have been taken multiple times. It's not enough to talk about it in the media. There has to be some decisive action from the Department of Justice for us to believe that you're actually holding these people accountable. But again, that's just from my point of view. This brings me to the president, who's actually doubling down on what he's been saying. He said he was gonna make DC beautiful again, and he put boots on the ground, with him raising the morale of law enforcement as they're now allowed to enforce the law.
We've had some incredible results. The results have come out, and it's like a different place. It's like a different city. It's the capital. It's going to be the best in the world. We're going to do what you're doing with law enforcement, and very importantly also, we're going to physically do it. We're going back to Congress for some money, and we're going to redo a lot of the pavement, a lot of the medians, a lot of the graffiti's all coming off. I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C., from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. And they said, you know, what you've done it's unprecedented.
Here's where some are divided. There are those who say that DC was fine the way it was, while others say that things have never looked better. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Before I go, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I promise I'm gonna deliver as much value as I can with these videos. As always, thank you for watching. Talk to you in the next one.